Hello, Hillside family. So I have just preached on kingdom friendships, and I started off by just sharing how this has been a season of people processing their pain. It has been a very raw and vulnerable time for people as we have been given permission to own our pain and be healed and be set free. And it's really just been a beautiful season of watching people get set free. But we are set free for a purpose, and we are called to co-mission with Christ, and our mission is to bear fruit. And in bearing fruit, we can't do it alone. We have to do it with our people, and God has called us to love one another and to be in kingdom friendships. So I just went through a process of sharing 6 principles that define kingdom friendship, and the first one is friends have our back. And I shared the story of Jonathan and the armor bearer, how Jonathan had the courage to attack a mighty Philistine army, but he couldn't have done it without the backing and support of his armor bearer. And as people, when we step out in faith to do something, we can do it when we have the backing and support of friends behind us who believe in us completely and have our backs. And then the second principle was that friends multiply our strength. So sometimes we have got strength to do something, but our strength is multiplied when we have friends doing it with us and we know we have the backing and support of people. Then number 3 was friends celebrate our success. Friends celebrate our success. And then I just shared about the devastating relationship between David and Saul, and how when David killed Goliath and had this incredible victory, instead of Saul being happy for him, he was crippled by jealousy, and that jealousy led him to become a madman, and he spent the rest of his life hunting and trying to kill David. And he was unable to celebrate David's success and to be happy for him and to champion him. Instead, he allowed jealousy to lead to insecurity and pride and rebellion. But in contrast, we have Jonathan, who was actually the rightful heir to the throne. He actually gave up the rights to that throne and backed David 100%. In fact, after David killed Goliath, Jonathan came to him and said, "I'm with you 100%. I know it's you. You are going to take over the kingdom." And he literally gave him his robe and his belt and his weapons in a display of beautiful self-sacrificial love. Just reminded me of how Jesus displayed that kind of self-sacrificial, humble love when he gave up the rights to his throne and came and gave his life for you and me. And point number 4 is friends are humble, and just the same thing, Jonathan just being so capable and being the rightful heir still chose to give it all up for his friend. Point number 5 is your friends will take a bullet for you and help you find strength when you are weak. And that's exactly what Jonathan did for David, is that he risked his father, Saul, being so angry with him and trying to kill him because he wanted to warn David that Saul was trying to kill him. And he gave him strength when he was weak, because then David had to run away and hide as a fugitive, and it was exhausting for him. And Jonathan risked his life to go and meet up with him and give him courage. The only purpose for that meeting was to give courage to David and to strengthen him in his time of weakness. And then the last is that friends are loyal and they never forget. And I just shared how David never forget that he had made a promise to Jonathan to be kind to his children. And he found Mephibosheth, who was injured as a child of 5 years old, and he was disabled, and he invited Mephibosheth to sit at his table for all of his days and gave him all the land and property that would have been Saul's. So he honored that commitment, and he was loyal to his friend Jonathan. And I just shared that, friends are going to let us down, just like with Jesus and his disciples in his greatest time of need when he was going to the cross. He felt sorrowful and he felt afraid, and he asked his friends to be with him, to support him, and they fell asleep. And I feel like sometimes that's the same with us. We fall asleep in times of greatest danger. And I'm just calling you all to stay alert. We need to be ready. We need to be alert. So don't use danger and crisis to allow us the opportunity to disengage and to disconnect and to isolate ourselves. God is calling us back. So yes, you may have been hurt. Yes, you may be disappointed and disillusioned with your friends, but actually they are worth it. it is worth it, because actually in friendship we can be together and we are better together. We can go and bear fruit because that is what we are called to do. Thank you.
Holy Spirit, oh, Holy Spirit.